It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Nice to have you here for the start of our 38th season here in Prince George's County Public Schools. And we invite you to play along and see if you can match wits with today's contestants. Let's meet the schools that are starting our year. 2 great middle schools. Let's meet them right now. Let's go first to Benjamin Tasker Middle School and say hello to Aminata. Nice to have you here today. She's waving to everybody out there. Aria is here, a returnee to our show. And for the first time, Evan is with us. Hey, Evan, nice to see you, all 7th graders. And let's move now to Walker Mill. All 8th graders with us today. Say hello to Carly. Hey, Carly, first time on our show. And Riley Alicia, she is a veteran. She's been here in elementary school and middle, and here she is again. Great to have her back. And here for the first time is Melanie, another 8th grader. Everyone looking good over there. You know, if you've not seen our show before, we arrange the questions on a game board in 6 categories. Let's find out about those categories right now.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left-hand side of our board worth 5 and 10 points, and the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25 points. We start our teams out with 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers, and at the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 talented teams will go on to play in another game and perhaps advance to this year's semifinals and finals here on the Science Bowl. Before we start, let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's check those buzzers. Aria, would you try your buzzer for me? All right, the red team looks ready and raring to go. And how about the green team? Riley Alicia. All right, that also, nice look to it, nice sound. Everybody ready to do this? Yeah, all right. Good luck to both teams. And you've already won just by being here. You're representing your schools. You're great ambassadors. Here we go. We go alphabetically. B before W. Benjamin Tasker, you go first. Aria, give me a category and a number, please. Nice and loud.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. First one in our game is with faces shaped like parabolas. These are the only birds that use ultrasound to locate the mice and voles that they eat. We're talking about owls. Owls have that rounded face. You know, they can actually pick up the sounds that are coming, just like on the side of a football field where they have those parabolic devices to pick up the sound. Owls have faces just like a barn owl in particular. Try again, red.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. When a plant on a windowsill starts leaning toward the sun, you probably noticed that. That's called a phototropism. It does so because of these H-initialed chemicals that are similar to the insulin and adrenaline in our bodies. Walker Mill.
Hemoglobin?
Not hemoglobin, that's a good try. It does begin with an H. What H-initialed kinds of chemicals, like the insulin and adrenaline in our body, there's an equivalent in plants that make those plants lean toward the sun. What you got? Those are hormones. Hormones is what I'm looking for there. Try again, red. Let's get some points here. Come on.
Body systems for 10.
Body system for 10 points. You know, sometimes you hear a song, you can't get it out of your head. If you can't get a song out of your mind, it is saying you've got a worm in your what, Walker Mill?
Your ear?
Yeah, you got an earworm. That's it. Yep. Go. Green.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Here's your question. The site of photosynthesis on coniferous trees is in these, which are covered with chemicals to keep them from drying out and toxins to keep them from being eaten. What do you find on coniferous trees? Aria.
Sap.
Not sap. Remember, photosynthesis is taking place in them. The tree does not want them to be eaten. Yes, Riley, Alicia.
I pass it to Melanie.
Come on, Melanie.
Leaves?
More information. Needles. Needles. A coniferous tree, a conifer, has needles instead of the leaves you'd find on a deciduous kind of tree. All right, green still. Riley, Alicia.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Here's the question for you. You know, sometimes in your garden, if you're a gardener, you see these little things that roll up in a ball. They're called roly-polies, potato bugs. They have a scientific name that sounds like this A-initialed mammal that it resembles that can also roll up in a ball to protect itself. Come on, Tasker.
Anteater.
Not anteater, good try. A-initialed mammal that can roll up in a ball to protect itself. Looks like one of those roly-poly bugs.
An armadillo.
That's it, an armadillo. Good comeback there. Thank you, Carly, for your assist. Go green.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. This plant pigment is the green in green things, Walker Mill.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, that's right. Good. Got yourself 10 more. Go.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade, 15 points. Two-part answer. Flying squirrels are kind of cool. They glide between trees. The stretched skin in a flying squirrel, called the patagium, is connected to what two joints, beginning with the letters W and A, found next to the hands and the feet? All right. Walker Mill.
Wrists and ankles.
Yes, ma'am. Wrist and ankles both. Good answer. Go.
Body systems for 15.
Body for 15 points. Arteries, veins, capillaries, arterioles, venules are the 5 types of these body parts. They are all whats? Aria, come on.
Blood vessels.
Yeah, they're all blood vessels. Good, you're on the board. Go red. Go, Aria.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Some frogs, get this, can change color because their skin lets light pass partially through, a quality known by what T-initialed name? Walker Mill. Was on the tip of her tongue over there. No, she kind of lost it there. What T-initial term describes when light can only partially pass through something? In this case, the skin of a frog. Translucent. Transparent is if it can completely pass through. Translucent is just partially pass through. And opaque is if it doesn't go through at all. Go again, red.
Body systems for 5.
Body for 5 points. When Albert Einstein didn't want his picture taken on his 72nd birthday, he stuck his blank out at the photographer. Walker Mill?
His tongue.
He stuck out his tongue, yeah. He was not a very polite man, was he? No. All right, the buzzer says we've come to the end of our first round. Let's check that score. Walker Mill at the century mark there at 100, not far behind Benjamin Tasker at 65. Lots more Science Bowl straight ahead. Don't go away. And welcome back, everyone. Hope you're enjoying this inaugural game here in our 38th year. These two middle schools here distinguishing themselves so well. We got a good game going. We're going to continue in just a moment. A few personal questions. Let's find about our players. A little bit about them and their schools. Let's go to Aria and tell us about Benjamin Tasker out there in Bowie. Who is your coach? What teacher?
Miss Wilson.
Miss Wilson, absolutely. And she's here today, and I know she was out there taking pictures of you earlier. Who is your principal?
Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill, Kendra Hill, that's right, absolutely right. And tell me something about your school that you really like. When you tell people, I go to Benjamin Tasker, what do you brag about?
I enjoy our sportsmanship and how much we care about our scholars and
those are very good things to talk about. And any school would be proud of that. Yeah. Tell me about yourself. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I enjoy hanging out with friends and any type of physical activity.
Yeah. Any sports in particular you like?
I enjoy gymnastics, cheer. I enjoy playing football with my brother also.
Very good. All right. Yeah, you're a good captain. Keep it up here. And nice to have you back again. Amanada, nice to have you here today. Tell us what you want to do someday.
Oh, like when I grow up, I want to like do something maybe in acting. And if that doesn't work out, maybe like stick to like science and math.
That's it, Matthew. We're in the right place here. Is science one of your favorite subjects?
Yes, that's my second favorite to
Second.
math.
What was number one?
Math.
Math. All right. Well, they go together. You know, it's
Yes.
like STEAM. You know, get all the maths together there. Why'd you want to be on the show?
Because like I saw some of the older kids doing it like in past years, and I was like, oh, if they can do it, like why can't I push myself?
Yeah, I'm glad you had the opportunity. I'm glad you're here today. Evan, why'd you want to be on the show? Had you seen the show before?
Yes.
Wonderful, yeah. And how did you guys prepare to be here? Did you get to practice it all together?
We practiced it all together.
Very good, yeah. And do you watch some of the previous programs? And you're into gaming, right? You want to
Yeah.
do something maybe professionally with that someday?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else do you do in your spare time?
I guess play by like pets.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, you seem a little nervous here. Just relax. You know, you're doing a nice job here. We're rooting for you. Don't worry about that. Walker Mill, nice to have you guys with us today. Riley, Alicia, tell us about your brand new school.
Our brand new school is great. It's like so much bigger, and my favorite thing about it is the music department because we have a lot of new space and we have recording systems now.
Wow, yeah. And tell people about the bleachers.
So our bleachers are from the old school. They're automated because we received an update before I got to Walker Mill,
Yeah.
where we went from stationary bleachers to automated bleachers. So they took the old bleachers from the old Walker Mill and put them in the new
And they're
Walker
painted beautifully, too. I
Yes.
hope you get to see them, everybody, somehow, some way. Tell us who your coach is.
Our coach is Miss G.
Miss G, and she is really behind you guys. She's a distinguished science teacher in her own right there. I know you respect her much. And who is the principal? She's here today.
Our principal is Miss Cribbs.
Miss Cribbs, absolutely right. And she does a great job of it. I know she appreciates that school because you appreciate that new school. Tell me something other than the newness there. What do you like about Walker Mill?
I would say my favorite parts about Walker Mill, our tag program, and a lot of the extracurriculars we offer, like the modeling team, the cheer team, the dance team, soccer, softball, baseball, girls and boys basketball.
Wow, you got a whole
Science
list
Bowl,
of things
National
over
Junior
there.
Honor Society.
You can't be bored. You can't be bored. What do you want to do someday, Riley Alicia?
I would like to become a prosecutor.
Very good. I can see you do that. Yep. You've got that confidence, I can tell.
Thank you.
Carly, nice to have you here for the very first time. You got a little nudge for modeling. Is there a modeling club there?
Yes, I'm a part of it.
I see. I can see why. And you want to be an actress someday, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And tell everybody you also have another ambition.
I would also like to be a firefighter.
How did that develop?
My family works a lot in the medical field, but I'm not a big fan of like doctor stuff, so I was like, I like the adrenaline rush and I don't have much fear, so I think a firefighter piques
Yeah,
my
the
interest.
lack of fear is certainly one of the criteria. And just courage. You know, I admire you for wanting to do that. Nice to be on the show with you today. Melanie, also an actress, yes?
No.
No? What would you like to do?
I'd like to become a doctor for a pediatrician. So
Pediatrician. And you have a younger sibling at home, right?
yes, I have a younger brother.
Yeah. And what do you do in your spare time?
I knit. I make myself like sweaters and scarves and hats.
Yeah. And why'd you want to be on the show?
My teacher recommended that I join, and my brother was on the show too, so I already knew a lot about
It's
science.
a family affair. That's great. Nice to have you here today. All right, let's get back into it. Lots of questions to give away, lots of questions to ask, lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the green team. So Riley, Alicia, let's start us out.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Besides the canopy, another name for the treetops is this C initialed word that also defines what kings and queens wear on their heads. Aria.
Crowns.
Crowns, yes, the crown of the tree. Good. Go. Red.
Body systems for 20.
Body for 20. If you could miniaturize yourself and get into the body, you could visit the islands of Langerhans, which are in the pancreas. Or you could travel through the carpal tunnel, which is found where? Where is your body's carpal tunnel, Walker Mill?
In your heart?
Not in your heart. Good try. Come on, guys, get yourself 20 points. The carpal tunnel, where is that in your body?
Your wrist.
Your wrist, absolutely right. Carpal tunnel syndrome, too much time on the keyboard. Yeah, good answer. Good, 20 points. Look at this, 90 to 100. We almost have a tie game. Red, go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. If a nuclear accident occurs, and I hope it never does, you can counteract the effect of the deadly gamma rays that are released by taking tablets with the chemical formula N, capital N, small a, capital I. The Na stands for sodium. What is the letter I? What chemical element? Riley, Alicia.
Iodine?
Iodine it is, yes. Sodium iodide tablets. Good answer. Good. Go, green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. All right. A student like you, 8th grader, recently found an error in a textbook and was rewarded by the publisher for finding it. Got a reward. The error was misidentifying pictures of two kinds of rocks, sedimentary and this other type that is volcanic in origin. Walker Mill.
Igneous?
Igneous, yes. They had mislabeled the two. So that student got a nice payout. So keep, they make mistakes. Nice answer. Go green.
Green things for 25.
Green things, 25. Big one in that category. It's a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, at this tree that you're about to see. A very odd-looking tree. It's called the dragon's blood tree. The blood on this dragon's blood tree is actually what R-initialed substance that's like sap. Yes, Aria.
Resin?
Resin, yes, and it hardens into amber, which we remember from Jurassic Park, with the mosquito inside. Go red. Good.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri, 10 points. Here we go. The 3 most allergenic foods, those that people are allergic to, are eggs, soy, and these tasty legumes. Walker Mill.
Peanuts.
Peanuts, you got it. S and D. Good. Go.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri, 15 points. The science of paleogenomics is the study of ancient samples of this 3-lettered chemical that has taken the place of fingerprints as our form of identification. Walker Mill.
DNA.
DNA, those are the 3 letters. You got it. Yep, go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Because he noticed it in himself. Scientist John Dalton is credited with discovering color blindness, which is the inability to tell what 2 colors apart. Benjamin Tasker.
Red and green.
Red and green, yes. Aminata, thank you for your help on that. Go, Aria.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25, the big one in that category. Football player Osiris Torrance seems to have the strongest hamstring muscles of any NFL player, measured at 820 of these N-initialed units that measure force. Riley, Alicia.
Newtons.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent answer. Go.
Body systems for 25.
Body for 25 points. Gatorade is a great source of these
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes, yeah. You didn't even need the samples. Sodium, potassium, and chloride help muscles contract. Go.
Zooparade for 25.
Zooparade for 25 points. Big one in that category. Salmon, sea turtles, and many seagoing birds practice natal, N-A-T-A-L, philopatry, which is the returning to breed in the places where they themselves were what?
Born.
Born, absolutely. Yeah, you pulled that one out. Perfect. Got yourself 25 points. Go. 160 to 210. Look at this. We still have 25 points. It's still anybody's game. Go red.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Since COVID is no longer infecting and killing people in large numbers around the world, it is no longer considered a what? Riley, Alicia.
An epidemic.
No, ma'am. Benjamin Tasker.
Pandemic.
Pandemic is right. Yes, good. Go.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. While Tyrannosaurus rex probably wasn't much of a kisser, paleontologists now think it actually had these over top of its fearsome teeth. Riley, Alicia.
Lips.
Lips, that's right. Good. Go green.
Zooparade for 5.
Zooparade for 5 points. Among the different kinds of bivalves are oysters, clams, and these that are homonyms for what bodybuilders have lots of. Walker Mill.
Muscles.
Muscles is right. Good. Go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Interesting. Because peanut butter has no definite shape, but rather takes the shape of its container and can be spread. Airport.
Non-Newtonian fluid.
No, not quite. That was a good try. Non-Newtonian fluid. I'll finish it for Walker Mill. Because peanut butter has no definite shape, it takes the shape of its container and can be spread. Airport screeners consider it to be one of these states of matter and thus limits the amount you can carry on board an airplane.
Liquid.
Yes, it's considered a liquid. Go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Big one in that category is a visual. Look at the picture of the chimera. C-H-I-M-E-R-A. An animal that seems to be made of different parts of other animals. In Greek mythology, it was a creature that was part serpent, part lion, and part this animal that represents the astrological sign Capricorn.
A ram.
No.
An antelope.
A goat. A goat. A goat was the right answer there. Go again, please. Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. The first of these non-human primates to orbit the Earth was named Enos. Name that primate.
Monkeys.
More specifically.
Gorillas.
No. Walker Mill.
Chimpanzees.
Chimpanzee is right. Yes, good comeback there, Riley. Alicia, go.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline 25, big one in that category. This is a quote. Equipped with 5 senses, man explores the universe around him and calls the adventure science. So said this H-initialed astronomer who has a famous telescope named for him, Walker Mill.
William Hubble.
You got it. William Hubble is correct. 2 questions left. Go.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. Here's the question for you. Let's see, Dateline for 20 points. The James Webb Telescope recently discovered in a dark cloud about 3 million light years away, a formation that looks exactly like what punctuation mark that is perfect for this show?
Question mark?
A question mark, yes indeed. And the last question of the game is Dateline for 15 points, and here it is. When the ship HMS Beagle sailed into the bay at Palmerton, Australia in 1911, the city changed its name to that of this famous traveler on board the Beagle. He would be Charles Darwin, who came up with evolution. All right, our game is over. It looks like Walker Mill has done it. We'll double check that score and be back in just a moment and talk to these 2 great teams. Don't go away. And welcome back. We hope you enjoyed today's game. Everyone here in the studio certainly did. 6 outstanding young people, in fact 8 outstanding young people. Our final tally today is Benjamin Tasker 190, Walker Mill 255. Congratulations to Walker Mill. Let's give him a nice round of applause. And Riley, Alicia would be good enough to introduce who's standing behind you there.
We have Ms. G, our alternate, Olo Shayo, and our principal, Ms. Cripps.
Thank you all for being. I know how proud you are of this team here and how proud we are of Benjamin Tasker. A nice round of applause for Benjamin Tasker. Aria, would you tell us who's back there?
We have our coach, Miss Wilson, and we have our alternate, Alex.
I know you guys are proud of them as well. It's a terrific game, and we hope to see you all back here in the Science Bowl sometime. Walker Mill, we will see you in the next round, and hope to see you next time on another edition of the Science Bowl in this, our 38th year. We appreciate you being here. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.